giving your best live. Join Formula U on Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja, Mondays to Fridays from 1 to 2 p.m.
I like to pride myself on keeping my promises. I promised you we're going to do something on leadership and mentorship, and well, here it is. Welcome to Formula U on Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja. Time check, it is 1:30 on the dot. And today happens to be a very good day. I do hope you're feeling that way, and even if you're not, don't worry, before the end of my shift, you'll be feeling better because you don't have a choice. You get it? Well, in this segment of matters, we delve into the world of leadership and mentorship. We will be exploring the transformative impact of mentorship relationships. So stay with us. We're going to listen to, well, we're basically going to have a very in-depth, I intend for it to be a very in-depth conversation with someone who is a leader, and you're going to understand in a bit. So stay with us if you want to learn how to figure out the power of guidance, shared wisdom, and the ripple effect of a mentorship. So whether you're a mentor, or a mentee, an aspiring leader, or someone who is just clueless as to what it is, this segment looks to offer you valuable lessons and motivation to navigate your own path to success. Now, I have with me in the studio past president of JCI Abuja Unity, which is still blowing my mind, by the way, and she still goes on to be the 2023 JCI Nigeria National Convention Director. Now, she's a trainer, she is a diplomat, she is a passionate social entrepreneur, and so much more. She is JCI Nigeria Ambassador Joyce Mammon Lawrence. Thank you so much for joining me in the studio today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Well, I mean, it's more than a pleasure. And I'm going to just start with this question before we even get to leadership and mentorship. I asked you this off the air, before we came on. How did you share the journey to becoming JCI's president when you were, of course?
For me, I see leadership as some were born with it, some acquired along the way. And for me, looking back at my life from beginning, I think leadership was inborn. From my family, I happen to be the most outspoken. I was more proactive than most of my siblings, and I remember my dad could say, "Wow, there can be two ships. There can be two captains in a ship." So he acknowledged my leadership skills, and he felt that I was also like a threat to the family. Yes. So growing up like that, without any campaign or anything, I was identified to be the head girl of my secondary school.
Oh.
Yes, so I grew up in that space, leading in every session of my life. I went going to serve. I served in Rivers State. In the midst of all the crowd and everything, I was still selected. I don't know how it happened to be the platoon leader. In fact, they were wondering why a woman should be a platoon leader. And but when I did my manifesto, and for some reasons everybody voted for me. So I would say meeting JCI along the way was like an icing on the cake, because somehow faith has put me in that light already in my journey in life. So when I came into JCI, I am this kind of person. When you give me, no matter how little a tax is given to me, I take it personal. I hate to see things fail under my watch. So, and there's this saying that says the reward for hard work is more work.
Absolutely.
So I see myself growing through the ranks because of performance and capacity, not because of any other thing. But people measure performance and capacity, and they feel, why not you? And I have never struggled for any position. It comes naturally because people identify me with some qualities and they call me and say, I think you should do this. I think you should do this. I have never put myself forward. And for me, that is leadership. Leadership is not about the position. It's not about the office you're taking. It's about your lifestyle. What do you do with little things that is being kept under your watch? How do you... So when you are good in taking things seriously and doing things professionally, you'll be called upon. So let me just digress a little. In a situation where you find yourself pushing yourself too much to say, I want to be this, I want to be this, it means that you have failed in a lot of things, because naturally people should feel that you deserve to be this, in a circle. But when you push yourself too much, it means that capacity is not measuring up. That is why you have to defend yourself to be in that position. But once your capacity is measuring up and your what do they call it?
Results?
Your results, yes. People would naturally gravitate towards you and say, why not? We want you to lead.
So instead of pursuing leadership, what you're trying to say is people should pursue capacity building.
Exactly.
Oh, well, that's interesting. You mentioned when you started to speak that some people are born leaders, others learn. So you're trying to say leadership is a skill.
Yeah.
It can be developed.
Yeah.
So say I'm listening to you now and I want to develop leadership skills and build my capacity. What should I do? How do I do that?
Okay. So I would I think you wouldn't mind. I'll still keep going back to my JCI career because that was how I developed. So for you to develop your leadership skills is see the need, take the lead. How well you do it today would position you to more tasks tomorrow. Do you understand? You see a need, fill in the gap. In a group of people, there's a problem. What do you do? So, if you are a person who provides solutions to problem, definitely, even in a family, there are people that you just feel these are the leaders of the family because they are taking up responsibility. Leadership is about taking up responsibilities. So the more you take more responsibility, the more you become better. And you can never be a perfect leader. Everything is a journey. Now, coming back to JCI has I don't know, is a mandate. Our guideline is that you have only 365 days to lead in a particular office. No matter how good you are or how bad you are, you just have those days to stay in the office. And the reason why we do this is for you to learn. We learn on the job. So as a team lead, I am learning to lead 5 people max. As a director, I have a broader people, maybe now 20. As a vice president, now maybe 50. So you start with a step and you develop yourself as the journey goes on. And you can't take any position twice. You have those days to learn on the job how to lead in that capacity. Then you exit that stage to allow another person to lead in that capacity, to train themselves. So in JCI, I have heard over close to 10 different positions, and in those 10 there's none that is the same. Every position comes with their challenges, and at the end of the day you check yourself and you have developed, you have become better in this kind of in leading a particular direction. So that is, for me, that's how JCI has programmed it for you to be a leader. You get?
All right, I understand that. Now you're a woman in leadership and you've done absolutely well. Like I said earlier, I'm mind blown by the number of things that you've achieved. Have you dealt with patriarchy? Like, we live in a patriarchal society, like it or not, it's embedded in us. Even sometimes we find ourselves doing it without knowing. It just comes to, because that is what it is. And you're a woman that has reached heights in leadership. How have you handled patriarchy, or have you even experienced it, and how did you deal with it?
Okay, yes. So you have said it all. It is a known fact. that we live in a patriarchal kind of environment, not just in Africa, is a global thing. And it even starts with from the family, and like I said, I'm a kind of person, it boils down to personality. I'm a kind of person that naturally wouldn't react. I would rather respond, and my response are based on my results. Like, if you feel I am a woman and you have doubts, it's up to me to clear your doubts. You understand? So I wouldn't waste time. I see a lot of women struggling to say, we are women, give us this, give us that. For me, I see it as you're just reacting, you're just complaining. Just be a woman, enjoy being your womanhood, and just do your thing and get results. When the results are out there, you don't need to shout that you are better or you're not better. The results are speaking for you. So for me in JCI, maybe I didn't even notice, maybe I didn't notice them saying you're a woman or somebody. Maybe they must have said it behind my back, because it has never limited me being a woman or something. My result has always been what has spoken for me and keeps speaking for me.
So one of the, amazing response right there. I do have follow-ups, but I don't want to delve that way. Let's talk about mentorship real quick. Now, one of the major challenges we have in Nigeria at the moment is reproducing success. We have a number of successful people, but we don't have people doing it after them. You can't just say, after Dangote, there's this person that will take over from him, or after Tony Elumelu, or any of them. And we do have successes. And one of the major problems why we don't have, we can't reproduce success is because there is no mentorship system. There's no system of mentorship in the nation. It's very difficult. Even when you send people on IT, on internships, it's hardly anything. They're hardly learning anything. Talk more in leadership. What do you think about the situation we are faced with in the society as it regards mentorship? Do you think it is something we should work on, and then how?
Okay, first I agree with you that Nigeria has failed in grooming the upcoming generation, because Nigeria, most of our leaders, if you notice, we keep recycling leaders, and it's basically because those people have not groomed people to be like them. That is a gap in mentoring, and I will look at it from two ways. The leaders have failed to identify people. I'm sorry to say, but the leadership in Nigeria is somewhat, if you check the trajectory of leaders, is somehow selfish. Leaders think of just themselves and their children, forgetting that their children might not have the passion, but there are people close to them who admire them and see them like, I want to be like you. And they pay little or no attention to grooming such people that want to be like them. Instead, they will rather force it on their children that might not really want to be like them. So there is this gap in leadership. We see people holding on to power, coming back again and again, even if they are old, because they have not properly groomed somebody to say, okay, I trust this person enough that he can be able to do exactly what I would have done in that position. So there's this gap. And but one of the things that mentors also, let me not be one-sided. One of the things is that some mentees mistake mentorship for sponsorship. So yes, I want you to grow. I want to groom you. I want to see you become better, but I don't necessarily have to be your sponsor. But when in that relationship, and we are having a relationship, and then you are always coming with I need house rent, I need school fees, I don't have this, I don't have, the mentor tends to start running away from you. So mentees should also understand that mentorship is not sponsorship. So they should learn to also have
Draw
that.
the line.
Yes, draw the line. And there's something again about mentorship, and that is that you might not necessarily have one mentor, because your mentor could be good at one thing, and that is the thing you should focus to learn. And if for example, my mentor could be a very good business person and I want to learn business, but the mentor has poor leadership skills or poor communication skills, you look for someone, and you want to learn communication skills, you want to learn other things, you look for mentor in key areas of your life.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that you have a balance.
So you can have several
yes,
mentors.
you can have several mentors depending on what you want. You can have a mentor that mentors you on your career, on your business. You can have a mentor that mentors you on your relationship, because that is what is working for that person, and you admire what is working for that person. So you can have several mentors. So you don't just say this is my mentor and you pack everything that the person, both the good, the bad, and the ugly. You just say this is my mentor.
Let's connect this to your journey, your leadership journey. What role has mentorship played? Did you have a mentor, or who did you have one? Did you have mentors? What is it like?
Okay, so I'm a kind of person that I study people a lot, and I study your abilities, your strength, and I always reach out. I do a lot of consultations, especially in things that I don't know, and that is the power of mentorship. It helps you not to make mistakes that you naturally would have made, because you have access to somebody who has traveled that journey and has the experience to tell you, do it like this or don't do it like that. So mentorship again is not about age. So you might think that, okay, my mentor has to be 50 years because I am 30, my mentor has to be 50. You could be 30 and your mentor could be 20 years, because that person has traveled a journey, and that journey has yielded results, and that is what you want to learn. So for you to also be a good mentee, you have to be humble to identify people regardless of tribe, religion, age, to say, no, this person is successful in these thoughts and I want to be like this person. You reach out, you consult. And mentorship does not mean it must be for your whole life. My mentor, it's for a season, it's for a time, for this period of time. This person has traveled this journey. You're going to mentor me for a period of time. I'm going to learn so that I don't make mistakes, and then I reach out to you. I can't say how many people I have reached out to. I consult a lot, and then I weigh my options as a leader, and then I take a decision. And then when I take that decision, I don't say I was advised. I was advised, but no, I take a decision.
Your decision.
Yes, because I consult with people and then think about it and take a decision.
So there are, of course, successful mentor-mentee relationships,
Yes.
and then there are unsuccessful ones.
Exactly.
What would you say makes a mentor-mentee relationship successful?
First, there should be that humility that I said. A mentee must be ready to learn. You don't, even if you are older than the person, you must be ready to come down to that person's level to learn. That's one. Two, I spoke about not bringing your personal burden on the person. That could sour the relationship. So learn to know the boundaries that is being set, and then accord your mentor the respect. And the respect is reciprocal. The mentee or the mentor also should learn not to abuse that respect, because they are coming to you for something. It could be in form of a man to woman relationship, because she's coming for something. You shouldn't take advantage of that. And it could be the other way around. So people should not take advantage of other people's vulnerability. So if that is being done, it will sour the relationship. And for a successful mentor-mentee relationship, communication is key. I cannot help you if I don't know you, if I don't know what your challenges are. So the mentee should be able to communicate clearly to the mentor their challenges, their their issues, what they want from that session or that period, for that period of time. If not, the person might not really know what you want. Tell them what area you think you want them to come in your life. So if that is done, they'll have a good relationship.
All right, now let's talk about you and your journey. Can you share an example of a lesson or a piece of advice that a mentor of yours has given you in the past, that, or a mantra that that, you were in a situation and that was what helped you out? Any experience whatsoever?
Yeah, a lot. A lot. And let me not sound like if I have it all, sometimes I'm like my passion also needs to be checked. So sometimes I'm too passionate not to feel that I kind of take some very ambitious steps. And I remember this year as convention director, I was just being proactive, trying to make sure that this doesn't fail, and I went out of my way to sign a deal. To sign a deal. It was legit, but then I understood at the end of the day that you might be doing all of this for the organization, but if it goes wrong, it's your name. It's your name, yes. So I have a mentor who spoke to me and said, you have 365 days to lead. You shouldn't push too hard so that the rest of your life will not be negatively impacted. So at that point, I had to relax. Okay, who am I doing this for? And when it goes south, who takes the blame? So sometimes you make mistakes, and then you should also have people. You must have people if you want to succeed to say, wait, slow down, give you that emotional support, give you all of those things. And for me, it was a valuable lesson that was, thank God it didn't go too wrong, but it was well managed. Yes, it was well managed because I had a mentor. If I didn't, it might maybe the story would have been different. Yes.
All right. So let's quickly, you in your bio that I have here, you're a social entrepreneur. I really want to know what that means. That's for me. I mean, any other person is bonus, but that's me right there. I want to know.
Okay, yeah. So one of the things I learned from GCI is giving back to the society, doing things that promotes the social well-being of everybody. We do a lot of community development projects. We volunteer. We learn to do things, not necessarily, yes, money is good, not necessarily for the money. So we build social capital. We call it social capital. And that's a network of people, using the network of people to enhance your life.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, so that's what I do.
So you basically trade services, not necessarily products, services like knowledge for the satisfaction of giving back to the society.
Exactly.
Oh, is that not honorable? I mean, I wish we all could do that. Now we've got about 2 minutes to wrap up this conversation, and I would really like to know what you have to say to anybody at all that feels, okay, in deep inside, I know that I have more capacity than what I am, giving, to both myself and to the society. How do they break out of that, and how do they actually live to their full potential despite all of the challenges that life brings?
Okay, my last words.
This is not your last word. Your last words coming. You still have time for your last words. So
okay, yes. So there's this JCI senator, but he's late. He wrote a book and named it "See the Need, Take the Lead." And in that book, it has taught me and many others in JCI that You can be anywhere and achieve your full potential. You can be in the spotlight, you can be even in your house, but what is important is that you see a problem and be a solution provider. You don't just see a problem and allow it to pass. Making those little difference in your community, in your society, in your place of work, in the church, in the mosque, anywhere you find yourself, making yourself a solution provider stands you out. So for me, I don't see legacy as something very big. Your legacy is a bundle up of small actions that you take every day, and if those actions are for the good of other people, that becomes your legacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It hit me right there. Thank you very much. So now, your final words on the show, of course.
Yeah. So on the show, for anyone listening to me, you might be a mentor. You could be a mentor and a mentee at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you might be a mentor. You might be a mentee. If you're a mentor, consider that act as a way of giving back to the society. Do it with all honor and diligence. Reproduce yourself in those people, and you never can tell how much that seed you have sown is going to grow up and be in the future. If you are a mentee, subject yourself to humility, subject yourself to learning, to also be ready to unlearn what you have learned before, so that you can be able to learn new things and greater things in order to become better.
You heard it, and I have nothing more to add. But as we conclude this inspiring program segment on leadership lessons navigating the path of mentorship, we've embarked on a profound journey through the world of leadership and mentorship. We have heard the stories of Joyce, Mammon, Lawrence. Stories of her growth, her guidance, and the transformative power of just resilience, sheer resilience and mentorship relationships. From the wisdom of accompanied leaders and their mentors, we've learned that mentorship is not just a one-way street. Plus, if there's anything you take home, just know how to draw the boundaries, okay? They are not your sponsors, they're your mentors. So whether you're already a mentor or a mentee or an aspiring leader, remember that